Saints Row, the only video game franchise that had the balls to try to fight the titan of a franchise, Grand Theft Auto. I personally give Saints Row its props for trying to fight against GTA. In the beginning, they did pretty well with the first two games, then they realized they could not compete. So they went a different route. And a lot of people didn't really like that route. A lot of people really liked the more gangster Grand Theft Auto style of play, and I agree. But I believe that Saints Row can be revived, and I believe Saints Row needs another chance. So today I'm going to be combining every single Saints Row game in the franchise by taking one of its best aspects from each game, combining them all into one to try and make the perfect Saints Row game. This is World of Waffles, and welcome to Combining the Series. If you like unique video topics like these, and you like to revisit some of your old favorite series, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more of my content. Now, since the Saints Row series doesn't have that many games, I'm going to be picking two things instead of one from each game. Now, with that being said, let's get right into the first game, the game that started it all, Saints Row. Now, the first two things I would take from the first Saints Row game, the one that started it all, has to be its gangster style of story mode. And I will also take the gangs that came from Saints Row 1. Now, unlike some of the goofier gangs in the franchise, such as the Luchadors from Saints Row 3, the gangs in Saints Row 1 actually had aura. Out of all the games in the franchise, these gangs had the most realistic motives, personalities, and even ways of taking over the city. Like the Vice Lords taking over the music and entertainment industries, as well as extorting people. The Los Carnales, a drug cartel, and the West Side Rollers, a street racing game. And as for the second thing, once again, I will be taking the gangster style story mode, and we will be going back, rebooting the whole series, and we will make it about being a Stillwater Saints Row, moving up the ranks, taking over the Saints, and taking over Stillwater. Saints Row 1 is the original, so it's pretty much a given that we'll have to take these two things if we want to make the Saints Row go back to its roots. Now, moving on to Saints Row 2. Saints Row 2, my favorite of the series. I will be taking Saints Row 2's crew. Now, Saints Row 2's crew is the best in the series in my opinion. You have the core member, Johnny Gat, and then you also have some cool new characters like Pierce and Carlos. Rest in peace, Carlos. Moment of silence for him. This crew was not only great in terms of entertainment, but it also had each core member have something they bring to the table. For example, you had Pierce, who had the brains and the plans. And then you had somebody like Johnny Gat, fan favorite character, who was the bronze and the guns. And as for the second thing I would take from Saints Row 2, it would definitely be its online multiplayer. The online multiplayer had lots of different things that you can do. We had game modes such as the deathmatch, it had the fight club, and it also had open world co-op. Also, I would be adding every single game mode and deathmatch type from the other Saints Row games into this online, of course. So I'm not just taking the base Saints Row 2 online multiplayer, I'm just going to take its functionality. Next up, it's Saints Row 3. Now, this is where the series began to change, and it began to go towards a more chaotic, goofy style of play instead of its core gangster style, similar to Grand Theft Auto type of vibe. Well, in my opinion, Saints Row 3 was not that bad in my opinion. And as for the two things I would take from Saints Row 3, or Saints Row the Third if you want to be technical, I would take Saints Row 3's weapons as well as Saints Row 3's zombies. Now, Saints Row 3 had the most fun and unique weapons in my opinion. You had the shark gun, would literally summon a shark from the ground to eat people, and you even had an airstrike gun. The weapon system in Saints Row 3 was actually cool as well because you could upgrade your guns and weapons and give them unique traits. Now, pairing these weapons with the zombies from Saints Row the Third would be awesome, especially for its own game mode and online co-op game mode. Imagine having a zombies game mode with crazy weapons that kind of plays like Capcom's Dead Rising, giving the player a unique experience and also kind of converging the two styles of Saints Row in the franchise. You have in the gangster style in story mode and single player play, and when you get online you get to have fun stuff like the zombies modes and all of the chaotic weapons. Let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel about these two picks and what two picks you would put instead. Now on to Saints Row 4. This is where the series took a massive hit. The game basically became a meme, fighting aliens and having superpowers. Yeah, it was no going back after this one. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, what can I possibly take from the last two games in the franchise? But you will be surprised, okay? Now, hear me out. First, I'm going to be taking the superhero powers from Saints Row 4. Okay, wait, hear me out. And secondly, I'm going to be taking the fact that you can make choices in the story mode in Saints Row 4. Now, don't worry. The superpowers will only be in a online game mode, and in that game mode, that would be the only game mode where you can use the superpowers. I just think it would be very fun to have an online game mode where you have the crazy weapons with superpowers, people just flying around, jumping around, speed boosting with double explosive pistols, having lots of chaotic fun, okay? Now, when it comes to my second pick, which is the choices in story mode, when you have a gangster story mode where you can also, I don't know why I keep saying gangster. I'm really just spamming that word. Hey, comment down below how many times I say gangster in this video. Now, when it comes to a story mode that is more serious, okay, you want to be able to have choices, because when you have choices, you have many different ways to end the mode, many different paths that you can take. You know, hey, for example, if I choose to do a raid on this gang, they will come back and maybe somebody in my crew dies, okay? But if I choose to not do it, then they raid us and we lose money, or we have to go back to square one, or stuff like that, right? Having all of these different choices and different paths will make the story mode unique, and it will put it a step above Grand Theft Auto, which has never had this, in my opinion. You know, you had a couple choices in Grand Theft Auto 5, but you know, I want it to be to the point to where it's kind of like Detroit Become Human, where there's like 1,000 different ways you can finish the story mode, 1,000 different things that could happen in the story mode depending on what you choose. So yeah, those are the two things, and that are how I would manipulate them in the story mode. Manipulate, oh my god, what am I doing? Yes, I'm recording this at like 3 a.m. and I'm gonna leave that in. So yes, those are my two picks, right? The superhero powers and the ability to make choices in your story mode. Now, the worst game in the series, in my opinion, Saints Row 2022, or the Saints Row reboot. We're not going to talk about how bad this game is, because it doesn't matter. All we have to do is find two things that we can take from this game to add to our combination. And those two things are very easy, and that's why I saved these two things for last. And that is the updated, up-to-date character creation and all of the up-to-date vehicles. Now, when it comes to Saints Row, their customization is very top tier in my opinion. Obviously, because it's the newest game in the series and it has the greatest hardware put into it, so the character creation is very good. I've seen lots of cool characters being made, like even Michael Jackson and Shaggy, whatnot. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen those cool character customizations. And also the vehicles are pretty cool, unique, they look good, and they have the most vehicles and the most unique vehicles in the franchise so far. So hey, that's what I'm taking. Yes, maybe a cop out, but hey, this game sucks, so I had to find something. Well, that is my combination for the Saints Row franchise, combining every single game into one. Now let's do our review. First, in Saints Row, we are taking its gangs, and we are also taking its gangster style story mode. Don't forget to comment down below how many times I've said gangster in this video. For Saints Row 2, we are taking its crew. Saints Row 2 crew. Get it? It rhymes. Yes, it does. I am a rapper. No, I am not. Saints Row 2's crew, and we will also be taking Saints Row 2's online multiplayer functionality. Saints Row 3 or Saints Row the 3rd, we will be taking its cool chaotic weaponry, and we will be taking its zombies. Saints Row 4, we will be taking its superpowers that will be implemented into its own chaotic game mode alongside Saints Row 3's weaponry. And we will also be taking the ability to make your own decisions that impact the story mode heavily in the game. And last but not least, the worst game of the franchise, we will be taking its up-to-date vehicles and its up-to-date character customization. And that is the game. Let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel. What would you take from each game and why? Do you like my game? And with this combination of games, what would you name the next game with these combination of things taken from each game? What would you name the game? I would name the game Saints Row, A New Legacy, because we gotta go back. It's Waffles. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like unique video topics like this. And I'm out. Peace.